Welcome, everybody. Today is the first episode of Top 10 with Mahen. I am your host, Mahendri Pillai, and every week I will be chatting to interesting people, icons, trailblazers, people that have raised the bar as far as their profession goes, as far as their involvement in art, music, culture. So I want to remind you and thank you for joining us today. This channel is simply about hope. It is about igniting creativity. It is about fresh beginnings. It is about rejuvenating your energy. And it is with very great pleasure and respect that I warmly welcome our first guest, Dr. Ansuya Mudli. Welcome, Dr. Mudli. So good to see you. So good to have you.
Really a pleasure. Thank you.
Let me just tell all of you a little bit about our guest before we begin with the question. Yoga. She is a qualified yoga instructor. In fact, her yoga training was just completed last year in July at a very prestigious university in Bangalore, in India. So let's plunge into the interview. Dr. Mudli, can you tell our listeners, what does yoga really mean?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayan, for having me. It's indeed a real pleasure. So essentially, yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj, and that means a union or joining together. So we are all essentially divine beings. So our internal energy and the union with the eternal energy is essentially the concept of yoga. So if you look at the human body, or you just look at the physical anatomy or the physiology behind that, it's at a very physical level. And if you look at modern medicine, if you go to the doctor, you'd find that if you present with any ailment or any symptom, there's always some form of medication that, the patient would have to have, and that would be the recovery method. But yoga is very different. It actually views the body. We look at it as yogic anatomy, and it goes beyond the physical level.
All right. So, Dr. Murthy, I know that you thoroughly enjoyed your yoga therapy when you were in Bangalore, in India. Can you walk us through that whole experience? What was it like? What was the routine like? How many hours of yoga did you actually do?
It was an incredible experience, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. In fact, it was through a scholarship that I received through the Ministry of External Affairs in the Indian government. The first course that I did was in 2016. That was for the yoga the instructor course. So we had to be there for an entire month, and I represented South Africa. There were representatives from 52 other countries. So we formed a very vibrant team that started our practice every morning by being at the lecture room at 5 o'clock. So that is the first lesson, and that would end at 8 p.m. at night. You have just 3 breaks. The first one is after your session at 5, there's some meditation, and then you start for breakfast. And then you have a quick break for lunch, and then it takes you right through to the point where you have your final lecture that concludes at 8 o'clock. So that is your practice that you would have from Monday. There is no weekend, so it goes for the 7 days in the week.
I see when you speak of it, you speak with so much of internal joy. So it really, really was a very satisfying experience for you. I'm so happy for that.
Find a place where you could be comfortable. You could either be flat on the floor in a supine position, which we call Shavasana. From head to toe, make sure that you are totally relaxed. Or you may be seated. Very gently close your eyes. Have a smile on your face. And start to focus on your breath as we take a deep breath in. And exhale. As you breathe in, feel the cool air at the tip of the nostrils. And as the air flows through the nasal passages, going all the way down to the trachea, and the bronchi, and filling up the lungs, all the air sacs, the alveoli of the lungs. And as you exhale, again, trace the path of that air as it goes all the way from the air sacs of the lungs, up the bronchi, through the trachea, down the nasal passages and out. Continue to take deep breaths, focusing on your breath. And exhale. As you continue to breathe, become more and more conscious. Feel all the sensations in your body. Become more and more relaxed. And as you breathe in, feel the coolness of the air. And as you exhale, the warmth of the air leaving the nostrils. Very gently, just to increase the sensitivity of the body, we're going to use the palms. We're going to go into what is called Shan Mudra, where you touch the thumb with the forefinger. The other fingers are stretched out. And very gently, press the thumb onto the forefinger and release. Press and release. Press and release. Become aware of your heartbeat. There should be no tension in the body. Just continue to feel more and more relaxed. Beautiful smile on the face. And let's go on to Chinmaya Mudra, where you have your thumb touching your forefinger and simply draw in all other three fingers so that they rest gently on your palm. Press all those fingers and release. Press and release. Continue to imagine all of the movements of the nerve impulses. Be in control of your breath. Press and release. Very gently go into Namaskara Mudra in front of your chest. Press palm to palm and release. Keep the breathing going slowly, gently, making the body calmer and calmer. Press and release. One more time, feel that beautiful surface awareness as you touch and release. Very gently move the palms away from each other just for about 1 or 2 centimeters. Keeping the breathing going, and then very gently bring the palms very close, do not touch, just a few millimeters apart. Again, take it out and bring it back. Feel that beautiful pranic sensation. Also the effect it has on the energization of the entire body. Take a deep breath in. Back to Namaskara Mudra, palm to palm. And exhale. Take a deep breath in through both the nostrils. Hold your breath. And a beautiful deep exhalation. Smile. Body is feeling more and more relaxed. Namaste.
So, Dr. Woodley, can you very simply demonstrate to us left nostril breathing?
Left nostril breathing can be done using the mudra, which we call Nasika mudra. It's by using the right hand and simply putting down the two fingers that is closest to the thumb, that is your forefinger and the middle finger, so that you have the ring finger and the little finger out and your thumb is out. So you use your thumb to close off the right nostril. And then you will continue to breathe very gently through the left nostril. You breathe in for a mental count of 5, and you exhale for a mental count of 10. Normally the ratio has to be 1:2, so that the exhalation is always twice as long as the inhalation.
Is it possible for you to now demonstrate right nostril breathing?
The right nostril breathing is again using the Nasika mudra with the right hand. Essentially, what you do now is you use the ring finger and the little finger to seal off the left nostril. And you'll do the very same thing you've done to the left, but now you breathe in through the right nostril. So you take a deep breath in through the right nostril for a mental count of 5. You hold the breath for a mental count of 5. And very gently exhale a mental count of 10. So the ratio is 1:1:2.
Thank you, Ansu. Listeners, thank you so much for joining today's session. We trust that the information provided by our guest was very enriching for you. I encourage you to make small little changes in your lifestyle so that you are energized on a daily basis. Let's ensure that there is that sparkle in your eyes always. Thank you very much for joining me with today's episode, and I'll see you next week. I will be chatting to another highly specialized individual as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr.